Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Finds if you've never joined me here before, and today we're just going to be doing some what solds. It's going to be like many of my others. It's in a little two-part series. It's over the last couple weeks of sales, and it's been a little different here in November, and also I am off kilter because I thought you might enjoy watching him sleep because he's adorable. But he still needs to be, he wants to be far enough away that I can't touch him. He's a lot like a cat, and that's okay. But lose my train of thought here. I just wanted to give you a little small life update before we start our West Solds. So November's been wild. I actually am starting a slight part-time job and it kind of fell onto me. I helped out my husband's work with something over a weekend and they asked if I could continue, and so I'm doing that some. I'm still going to be a full-time reseller. That is still going to be my primary, and I'm still going to do my YouTube here for fun and sharing and connecting with all of you guys. But I just have to figure out how I'm going to organize that in my life, because right now I'm actually going to be doing full-time hours for a week or two because they have an important project they want me to finish for them. So it's been a little wild. And then I got really sick during November. I typically work through being sick because I make poor choices, but I couldn't this time. I was bedridden for a few days and it was an adventure, and I am happy to be healthy again. But other than that, I am just, life is ever changing. That is kind of always how my work path has been. It has been an adventure. You know, I take it as that way because it's just, I enjoy it more and it's nice to have something different. But again, full-time reseller is always what I'm going to remain, at least for the time being, but I don't foresee it changing because I do love it. So after that, let's go ahead and just get started in some what solds. And again, this will be a two-part series, and I will link the second part down in the description once it is released. First thing we're starting with, just to say I do have some good sales in these videos, but a lot of it is bread and butter, pay the bills kind of sales. And what that bread and butter means is it's items that I can easily acquire for a low cost and sell for, typically for me, like $15 to $30, roughly around there, 10 to 30, somewhere in that area. That is what a lot of my sales are, but they are what keep me going as a full-time reseller, so I am happy to be that. Other resellers do really well and they have a higher limit that they only want to sell items that are worth 50 or more. I'm not that person. I do have some regulations in how I want to get items now. Like, I don't like to get breakables that are really cheap anymore. That is not worth the effort. It needs to be easy packables that are going to be my under $10 or $15. But this model works for me at this time, but we're ever changing as resellers. So after all that, let's start with this one. It's a Saddlemen roll bag universal motorcycle luggage. I got this at a yard sale. It was towards the end of the yard sale day and they still had it and it has its tags and everything, and I paid $2. I took a best offer for $35 and it took, I'd probably say, a month or two to sell. These took probably 6-ish months to sell, but they're cute and they take up this tiny little amount of space, so I don't mind. And they're Avon Gold Tone Heart Sleeping Cat Kitten Dangle Clip-On Earrings. I took a best offer of $10. I paid $1 for them at a yard sale this year. And again, those are, I don't mind those kind of profits because these are easy. They don't take me very long to list. They don't take me very long to pack. So they still give me a good hourly wage. This is the Vampire Lestat Anne Rice Book 2 Vampire Chronicles hardcover. This is a 1993 print of it, so it's a much later printing than the first edition, but it still sold for $25. I don't know where I got this. It was pretty recent though, so this has only been listed for a little while, but it was pretty recent and I wouldn't have paid more than a couple bucks for it. And I do have a book video on books that shows and movies are based on, and I talk about Anne Rice books and specifically the Vampire Chronicle ones. If I remember to, I will link it down in the description if you haven't watched it before, because those are fun to see. This guy I think is adorable, but I have a thing for black cats. This is Dakin Artist Society Fat Black Cat Plush Toy, 1980 Japan. And I took best offer of $14. I think I paid $1 for it, if that, at a yard sale. And he's just cute. He took, I don't know, a few months to sell. And he's Christmas themed, so I know that's what helped sell him right now. This is a Lang Exploratory Drilling Vintage Brass Metal Buckle Enamel. I took a best offer of $10. I think I have a little less than $1 into this. I did a little bulk buy of belt buckles that, guys, I love belt buckles. I am just finding this year all the things that I really have enjoyed selling, and that's like belt buckles, Polly Pockets, Furbies, My Little Ponies, all those things I've been really enjoying, and I hope to keep finding more of them. And that took quite a few months to sell, at least 5 to 6, I think. Maybe not that long, maybe only 3 months. I don't think that buy was that long ago, but the winter months kind of mess up my sense of time. These are red race car cufflinks created for Macy's. I've showed these before. We got these, me and my friend got a bunch of these I've talked about them in previous videos a while back. We have our SPCA thrift store for an animal shelter. They hold a bin sale where you fill up a whole bag. You know, you only have a certain amount of time at each bin, and you have to pay $20 and you get to fill a bag with whatever you want up to the brim. And I got a bunch of these. They take a while to sell, but I've sold a few of them, and they're easy to pack, and it's a multi-quantity listing, so I don't mind cheap stuff for multi-quantities. But they did sell for $8.95, and I have like less than a quarter into it because I'm very good at stuffing my bag at that sale. This is a 1961 The Netcraft Catalog Fishing Tackle Lures, Reels, Rods, Vintage Advertising. This didn't take very long to sell, maybe a month or two. I love this kind of ephemera. It sold for 15 bucks. I have definitely less than $1 into it. I also love ephemera too. We'll add that to the list. This I just got recently, and it's a Yadro White Landing Dove Porcelain Christmas ornament. And there is a small flaw, which I show in the pictures and I put in the description. It's just the tiniest little chip on one of the wings, the very tip. So I just priced it lower than others, and it sold for the full asking amount of $22.95. I have, like a quarter into this. It was an estate sale where she just needed this stuff out, so I just made a pile, and it sold very quickly. So even if it's flawed, guys, you can still list it if there's a market for it, if it's an item that's desirable. This is The Fires of Heaven, Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time. This is number 5. This is also, I also talk about the Wheel of Time series in those book videos as well. I don't know if it's the same one as the Anne Rice books, but if it is, it'll be in the description. And this sold for full asking of $35. And if you find the early books in this one, man, those are some very big money. And I paid $5 for this at a garage sale, so I paid up a bit for it. This I paid, I think, $1 or $2 at a garage sale, and it's a beveled, etched stand-up easel back mirror frame Italian style. Fits 3.5 by 5 inches, and I took a best offer of $25. I probably could have waited longer to get my full asking. I'm pretty sure I could have got my full asking, but I was good with the offer, and it keeps stuff moving, especially because I haven't been listing as consistently as previous month, just because it's been a wild November. And I think I already said $1 or $2 at a garage sale. This I paid $5 for at a thrift store, and it's a new sealed Nevada Trivia the Game, and this sold for the full asking price. It took a few months to sell, but I'm in Nevada, and it sold to someone in Nevada, so go figure. I'd be terrible at this game. This is a vintage Limoges, France, hand-painted porcelain hummingbird trinket box gold. I got this at the huge estate sale haul that I had this year, and I took a best offer of $25 and have about less than $1 into it, and it's only been listed for a few weeks. This is lens coat neoprene cover for Tamron, 150 to 600. It's for a camera lens, and I took a best offer of $45 for it. I picked these up at an estate sale that Everything was very high priced, but they didn't think these were worth anything. And I got a stack, I think like 8 or 9 of these. And I was able to price them. I just went onto the website and was able to find what they were pricing and priced mine accordingly. And I paid $2 each at the estate sale, and they're taking a little while to sell, but I'm just waiting for the right buyer. I got time. You're gonna see quite a few Furbies because my Furbies are still selling. I do love them. I really do. This is a Furby 1999 purple pastel tie-dye model, and it had the tags, and it is working. And again, I like to include videos of the item working when I can. I think my computer is struggling today, like it does many days when I talk to you guys. So I'm not gonna play it for you because it might explode. But that did sell for full asking of $45, and I have $4 into them, and my Furbies are flying off the shelves. I don't have very many left. They don't take very long to sell if priced well. This is NYDJ jeans, woman's size 22 wide or 22W. I know very little about clothing, guys. I know that sometimes that can stand for women's, it could stand for what, I don't know. It's 22W is on the tag, so I put that in the listing. But it's extra long, Maryland straight denim, blue lift tuck. I'm still learning clothings, and that's gonna be apparent for quite a while. And it sold for $20. I paid $2 for this at a thrift store, and it took at least 6 months to sell, but it's easy. It doesn't shatter. Here's some more jeans I got pretty recently at a yard sale. I paid $2 for them. They're Vigos jeans, the Chelsea boot cut women's embellished pockets, plus size 18. And I am proof that you don't need perfect pictures to sell clothing. I'm slowly improving my pictures with clothing, but I'll get there. At our next place, we hope to move and stay there for a while, I'll make an actual real setup. But for right now, I'm just getting by. Here, you guys also know I love selling flatware now. And this is Reed & Barton Kendrick gold beaded stainless flatware, salad forks, set of 4, sold for $25. And I bought not a full setting, but a big bag of this, because a lot of people at their yard sales just put them in a giant Ziploc, a nice gallon Ziploc. And I paid $5 for the Ziploc, and this is just one lot. So, good return. And look, a cookbook, guys. As you know, my biggest videos on this channel are about cookbooks, and here is one that I'm sure I probably put in one of them. I have to honestly go and rewatch them myself. And this is Betty Crocker's cookbook, new and revised edition, 1978 ring binder, first printing, and it did sell for full asking. This did take a fair amount of time to sell, but that's because I did price it high. And that's just because I knew the condition was good and I was willing to wait for the right buyer, and it sold for full asking. And I don't remember where I got it or what I paid for it, but probably not a lot. This thing took forever to sell as well. It's a vintage signed Marvella leaf brooch pin, gold tone, at least 6+ months. I think I got this actually. I think I remember getting this at an estate sale in February. So it's been a long time, guys, but it, again, jewelry, it takes up so little space. I don't mind. I am a long tail seller for a lot of my things, and that's okay for me. I think I took a best offer of 14 or 15, right around there, and I have definitely less than $1 into this item. And it's not in, it has some fading on the gold, so it's not perfect condition either. This I just got very recently at an estate sale and have a $1 or $2 into it. It's a 1982 Gund Barina is the name, brown teddy bear, stuffed animal plush, 8-inch with hang tag, vintage. I took a best offer of $15. I was very happy with that. This item had no history of selling on either WorthPoint or Terapeak, and I only found one other listed. The listing seemed a bit high and had been listed for a while, so I just priced mine lower with something I'm comfortable with, and it sold in a few days. So maybe I left money on the table, but I also sold it very quickly. Here is an antique pie crust frame, Art Nouveau, earliest 20th century, 14 by 18 inches, and read description, just goes into more detail about it. I took a best offer of $130 for this. My mother-in-law picked this up at a in a state, or not an estate sale, a auction near us. And so she gave this to me to resell, and it's taken quite a while to sell. That's why I did finally take the offer, because it was a fair offer and the person was excited about it. So I was good with that amount. Sometimes it can vary so much with these frames on pricing, but yes, probably if I would have waited 6 more months plus, I could have got more for it, but I was happy with this, and I don't imagine I'll be selling many more, because I keep keeping them as I find them. I just found one recently that, in my defense, it is beat up. It has seen some stuff, and so that is why I'm defending keeping another one, and I think it's my 4th. We all have our problems, it's fine. And this is a Looney Tunes Warner Brothers Tasmanian Devil Mouse Pad, 1994. Sold for full asking price, and I paid $1 for it. It took a long time to sell, but I'm good with that. This I listed pretty recently. It's a flocked male realistic roaring lion Maine vintage toy decor as is. This is just showing you don't need to have a brand name to sell items. So just describe what they are and be apparent on the condition. I just showed pictures that there's some little flaws, nothing bad, but just there are some things to be aware of. And I took a best offer of $14. I think I paid about $1 for this at an estate sale. This is a Funko Pop Pet Siamese cat, and I put very big box damage. Always do that if a box is not completely perfect with Funko. It's just better to let the buyers know right away. And this sold for full asking price. I paid $5 at a thrift store for this, and it took a fair amount of months to sell, but I got to enjoy it, and it was cute while I had it. This is a Jimmy Travis the Singing Trout, Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy, and Rock the Boat with box vintage. I paid $4 for this at a yard sale quite a few months ago, at least 5 or 6, and it sold for $35. You'll notice that 4th quarter definitely helps sell those items that have been listed for a while, but that's what a lot of sellers do. They list hard and work hard all of the other months, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd quarters of the years, so that 4th quarter can be really good. This is a Wallmaker black western vest, men's large frontier clothing, made USA. It sold for full asking price. This picture is terrible because my ring light broke, so I had to get a new one, so the lighting is bad. It just is. And I paid, I think, $5 for this at an estate sale really recently. This is It by Stephen King, 1st edition, 5th printing, and it sold for $22 and had some condition issues with the dust jacket, but still pretty good overall, and sold for full asking price in a week or so. This guy is adorable. This is Miniso Life, 10-inch pink dinosaur plush stuffed animal toy dragon with tags. Sold for full asking price. I think I paid $1 for this at a thrift store, and it took a few months to sell. And then this is 1968 American Independent Party Wallace Presidential Campaign 3rd party pinback. I got a stack of these. I don't remember where. I think my mother-in-law might have found them. I just have a vague memory of the box that she grabbed. And so she found these, I think, and I have a bunch of them. They aren't huge money, and they aren't selling fast, but I've actually sold 3 in the last couple months, and this one sold for $4. I mean, throw it in a tiny little bubble mailer, and it's a quantity listing, so I don't have to do any extra work each time one sells, so it's fine. Then I think I just have one more for this video, and this is a Fiesta Wear Fiesta turquoise blue latte tall coffee mug. I think I might have shown the other one of these that sold in a previous video, but if I didn't, this will really cement it for you. This sold for $16. There are some Fiesta that is worth a lot of money, but not all are created equal. The newer stuff, you know, it's not as much money. But that is the first video, and thank you for joining me for this one, and I will get started on the second one.